Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do is push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
What's up, everybody out there doing it? It's your boy, Coach Lee. Back at it like we're mad at it, like we always do around here. Taco Tuesday, as some of them like to call it. And welcome to the Chop Up. Any topic can be brought to attention. Chop it up with us. We chop it back up with you. Let's get the crew up in here first. Coming up out the Northeast. Fresh as always. What's up, to?
Oh, what's going on? It's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, that is, man. We're here to chop up in the taco. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you guys prefer. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well as your Tuesday. Some of you are vacation, some of you are back to working, but either or, grind. Stack 100, maybe 1,000, maybe 1 million if you can. But I hope all is well with everybody.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, man, do every Tuesday, it's the norm now, we kind of rolled in from our, sports chatterish, saying we'll get on to it, as next year rolls around. What's going on, Unc? Shout out to you, Unc. What's the word with you? What's up, Chris? No, Chris, you the man. Shout out to you, my guy. What's going on with you? But can't have this show tonight without, our rookie of the year. The ballot's almost in, man. The year's almost over. Does he have it secured? You know what I'm saying? Tonight he gets to prove once again why he's the number 1 rated rookie in the game. Shout out to my man.
In the building.
Golden. Bang, bang, bang.
Working on my 3rd COVID game, man. Let's go.
Hope you're feeling better, brother.
Slowly, we're getting there.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you hanging out with the peeps tonight on the Chop Up, man. What is like a 3rd or 4th edition of this for us?
About 4, yeah.
Okay.
4, I believe.
But I got a topic for you, man. Y'all want me to start it? I can start it. I'm ready to get my geek on tonight.
Get it cracking.
Get on.
So for me, mine is y'all bear with me. I'm still kind of a novice to this, but I still get just as excited as I did was a kid.
Mhm.
And I want to take a look at the top 5 Star Wars Jedi. I see you perk up.
Ooh, okay.
I see you perk up, man.
Yes, I'm here for it.
What's going on, Daryl? Shout out to you, my guy.
Shut out, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
You want Uncle again, Unc's doing things, man. You know what I'm saying? Unc will pull in and pull out, anytime he wants to, man. He'll be in soon. We got you, Chris. Make that a New Year's resolution, to get Unc on the show for you, Chris. Got you.
Hey, you don't walk around Disney asking for Walt, man. Chill out.
Right.
So I'm a 5, for time. I can talk about it all night, but I want to do top 5. So right off the bat, my number 5 is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon, the wise one.
The wise one, known for his green saber.
Also known for being quite opposed to a lot of things that the Jedi Council felt and dealt with.
Yes, he did. He was never really accepted into the Jedi Council.
No, he
Now, man, you in jail? It's all good.
my man got burner pages like KD out here,
Man, I'll show you some later.
So if for those not familiar with, you may be, he made his debut in the Phantom Menace from '99. And he was played by Liam Neeson.
The great Liam Neeson.
Yes. Remember, he was the one that kind of was all on board with Anakin Skywalker coming into the, to be taken under as a Padawan.
He was the only one.
Yeah. Because I remember, the other ones, they saw the darkness within Anakin, which they was right.
They voted no. I got a nice little theory for you about that though. So all right, so there's a very Filoni laid this out. Filoni's the one who basically runs what they're doing up there right now.
Right.
The problem wasn't that he was to bring balance to the Force in the way he did in terms of becoming evil. The problem is that he didn't get a father. That's what Qui-Gon was signing up for. Qui-Gon knew that this kid needed to be raised. He needed a fatherly figure.
Right.
Qui-Gon never made it to that point. So what he got instead was a big brotherly figure who didn't view him in the same way that Qui-Gon did.
And Obi-Wan?
Yeah. Obi still loved him in the long run, of course. But he was harder on him in a different way. It didn't come from a place of love. Yeah, that's what we doing, Unc.
Yes, sir.
We running it up. It's a nerd show. Yeah, buddy. But I think things turn out a lot different for Anakin if Qui-Gon doesn't die, because Qui-Gon then raises him like a son. Now he still has the wisdom and gives him all the Jedi knowledge. Plus, you got to realize Anakin was more built like Qui-Gon. He was more of
questioning a lot of things,
questioning everything.
Inquisitive though.
Yeah, inquisitive, but questioning everything, challenging even. Where Obi-Wan is kind of letter of the law until it was too late for him. He became very similar in terms of pushing back, but it took a lot longer, and the shit was already up the creek. Like it was already a problem deep within the council. So it's just the little tidbit that people forget that I just hate the fact that it kind of made it seem like the whole council was right. Oh, he has darkness in him. He's gonna be bad. Like
I can see that perspective.
Like he became bad, yeah, because you guys get up at every turn. You guys made him. He got alienated at every turn, and then all he had was. It's that Anakin did his job.
Palpatine took the dad role and turned him. Yeah, Mace Windu also was shady.
A lot of battles. You know what I'm saying?
He had a lot of people saying no, and the only person he had a lot of people saying no. The only person saying yes died on him. So
yeah,
it became tough for him. He got the wrong type of guidance. Good guidance in Obi-Wan, but the wrong type.
I'll agree with that.
Rose up from the bottom.
But that's a great number 5. He's a great Jedi. Qui-Gon.
One of my faves.
The first to learn how to Jedi Space Ghost.
Yes. Yes, he was. My number 4, Mace Windu.
What's going on, Jay?
With the purple saber.
Purple saber.
Debuted in the Phantom Menace, also 99. It was played by the great Samuel L. Jackson.
Which I got a little story for that too.
Mm-hmm. So you are a Star Wars expert. I want to pick your brain on this. So I've heard theories that one of the reasons why he had the purple crystal for his saber and things like that is he had the ability to walk between light and dark side.
That is definitely it's a theory out there that it's a theory that they never really give you the answer to. It's like what's in the case in Pulp Fiction or like stuff like that. They never really tell you. I do know, fun fact, when he heard he might be getting that job, he was excited. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in a Star Wars flick." He was happy about that. But he didn't know what role he was gonna be playing.
Right.
And he showed up on set the first day, and they handed him a robe, and he said, "Wait, a robe?"
he was like,
he was like, "Wait, am I gonna be a Jedi?" And before he could think the whole process through, they walked up to him with a beautiful wooden carved and shellacked case, and they opened the case, and he got to choose which style lightsaber he took.
That's what's up.
And he made sure, he said he wanted the purple one on purpose. He had his own reasons for it, but apparently George also had his reasons for giving him the purple one, which again, they will never tell us, I don't think. But yeah, I love that theory of the light and dark.
And I've also heard rumors that he might make a resurgence.
Possibly. Also, by the way, Anthony Price, Star Wars. It's all about Harry Potter. Pay attention. Harry Potter is just a Star Wars story rewritten. Harry Potter is literally just it's basically the Star Wars story rewritten. If you really,
yeah, man, and Anakin, might have been the reason, man, that he didn't survive Order 66, man. Strong believer. We just talked about him on the list, man. So straight that he comes at number 4 on your list, coach. It's a good role for Samuel, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Samuel in every movie just gotta have a, it's crazy that he's in the top 5 position, because Samuel's a great actor, great guy.
He's about to whoop Darth Sidious, man.
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah, Sidious cheated as he always does.
All day.
He get the best of him.
That's why he could overpower him before Action came in and distracted him.
My number 3, the great Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan. There might be somebody else in here that may want a piece of this action, man. We don't want to hold them in too long before we get into this number 3 on your Jedi list, man. Bring in my guy, State Farm representative Jake. Not feeling the State Farm-ish today?
Jake Wan Jin.
Think Jake's on mute.
I forgot to unmute myself. No,
it helps.
Yeah, I just woke up. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a legit good morning for me right now. I didn't even charge my phone up. I got the cord into everything today. They need to have a Jake roasting session for my topic instead today, I think.
So
great to have you tonight. Indeed, man. You're getting love already, man.
Oh yeah.
Little dude, wow, you know,
What's up,
shout
what's
out,
up?
man. You know, we're gonna continue this list on because you know it's getting interesting.
Say, that's funny. Daryl, that is hilarious, man.
Kawhi Leonard is so good.
Here comes that playoff time.
My man always hurt, huh? Load
That is
management.
hilarious, man. Yes, sir. So the great Obi-Wan Kenobi, he made his debut in 1977 in Star Wars. It was played by Alice Guinness and Ewan McGregor most recently. So everybody knows the story of Obi-Wan, also known as Ben Kenobi. He kind of overlooked Luke Skywalker when he was living with his peoples, his aunt and his uncle. So
Obi-Wan, the old bearded man who comes and saves the kid from his uncle.
yeah.
Sounds like Harry Potter, doesn't it?
You ain't coming off that, are you?
God damn. I never looked at it like that.
I told you they just rewrote Star Wars with wands instead of lightsabers. It's all.
And all along we thought it was Star Wars versus Star Trek, and it's actually Star Wars versus Harry Potter. This is unbelievable.
No, it was Harry.
And the sort of
Harry
is, man. In terms of the
Potter
way the series
copied.
is now, you know, you got all types of characters. You know, characters that assert themselves. You know, you could throw shorts and shows about other characters. Yeah, man.
Remember, it's a storyline fact. There's only 7 stories that can be told. 7. They just retell them in different ways.
According to audience,
I've heard that.
Move.
It's like I forget the name of them all, but it's like the hero's journey is the number one that we always see. The hero's journey. I'll break them down. I'll find the rest of them. But yeah, so number 2 was Obi-Wan.
Number 3 was Obi-Wan.
Number 3 was Obi-Wan.
That's right. 3 was Obi-Wan. Number 2 is probably the most popular Jedi, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he's the well-known man. When he showed up on Mandalorian, just crunching shit. Because we never get to see him in his prime, and plus, like before that, during the entire of the show, we just see Din Djarin. We get to see the Mandalorian doing his thing, and he's a great warrior, but like he struggled with one of those things. My man Luke came through and wiped out like 15 of them shits. Like, yeah, we're gonna just excuse me. He just crunching whole ones with the Force, man. I'm telling you,
off himself.
Little dude, I'm telling you, just look into it, man. It really is. I wouldn't lie to you.
Well, which wasn't his? You guys had to have an opinion on it, or you know, your opinion in general. What was his best battle?
Who, Luke's?
Yeah.
I mean, his most important battle is his battling his father, but then winning and saving his father. It came full circle. He ended up saving Space Hitler. Because that's exactly what Darth Vader was. He was Space Hitler.
Yeah.
But and then that's probably that's the biggest battle he's been in that's publicized. Like they have in the books, he's been in other battles and stuff like that, but they don't really they haven't put those on screen yet.
What about the Battle of Hoth?
Yeah, I mean Hoth's a great battle. I mean, he's barely a Jedi at that point. At that point, he's still full
potential.
Right, he's still fine playing. I mean, Hoth was crazy, but then he goes on to destroy the Death Star. So I mean, that's a little. I think the Death Star kind of takes the cake.
Yeah, that's true. True that.
And restore balance.
And number 1,
did he though?
Yeah, because it's still, you know.
I mean, Yeah, until they until they ruined it with the next 3 movies, and they brought Palpatine back, which made everything that Vader did pointless. Luke's biggest pal. Yo, that my nigga. Yo, not wrong. That yeah, that was crazy. He had to sleep in that thing too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Cut open that Wampa rat or whatever it's called and sleep inside. Yeah, that wasn't fun. That was a battle.
Before I do my number one real fast, I gotta make an honorable mention.
You're gonna steal my number one.
Even though this person said they didn't want anything else to do with the Jedi Order.
Nah, don't even bring none. Let that just leave that alone. You don't even get an honorable. You don't get an honorable mention because that's my number one. So
that's the only reason she's not my number one.
You just say that. No, that's why she's my number one. So go ahead, you skip her and move on to who your number one is.
My number one is the green one, Yoda.
How could you hate on Yoda? Yoda's a legend.
He made his debut in The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, and he put them things on Dooku. He fought with Sidious by himself.
He slept in a space camp. Yeah, he did.
He was the leader of the Jedi Council.
Are you one of the ones that are so
Jedi Grandmaster?
Were you so anti? Were you anti CGI Yoda? Like, did you hate it when they went CGI?
It was a little weird. For
the purists, they hate it. But here's my thing: you don't get a Yoda lightsaber battle unless you go CGI because you can't do it with the puppet.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the worst lightsaber battle ever with a puppet. So like,
it was intense though.
He was doing mad flips. He gave me the vibes of that Professor X joke though. I thought he was about to say Grogu.
On point tonight.
Yeah. Yoda was the
If Dooku didn't escape, if the man Dooku didn't escape, man, you would have seen Dennis Rodman full blown.
All I'm saying is I hated Dooku with those movies. And then I saw the Jedi Tales, and like now, like Dooku, I kind of understand the man now. He went through the same thing Anakin went through, like in terms of like, I don't trust the system, y'all. It's bullshit.
Had little Qui-Gon in there with him.
Yeah.
It shows you that you just can't take the status quo just because.
Yoda had to be CGI. Ain't no midget flipping like that.
I know, right? Yeah. Ain't no midget. Yeah, we couldn't get Peter Dinklage to wild out like that. I say my list would look pretty much the same, except my number one is Ahsoka, which is who you were talking about.
She goes hard, man.
Yeah, and she got
She's my favorite.
Yeah, she got trained by the most dangerous Jedi we know when he was still the most dangerous.
Yeah.
And she's just she knew better. She stopped chilling with the whole council because she realized what it took Anakin. It took Anakin to get all the way to the point where he was breakable himself mentally to give up on the council, and then he just became bad. Same thing with Dooku. They just became bad. Ahsoka figured it out before going evil. So I just felt like she got it earlier. She was born to be the legend. And she's the only one not tied to a damn Skywalker. Like,
yeah.
She's her own thing. Honorable mention, Ray. Ray was all right, but those movies sucked. So.
Yeah. And they're taking that approach like that part of the story did not even exist.
Now, moving forward, they're scrapping all of that. Yeah.
Not as much as I like Kylo Ren, I still don't want to do anything with them movies.
Yeah, the Kylo Ren, as cool as his lightsaber was, and his mask and his voice, everything else was completely.
Throw him in the trash, D.
Everything else was trash. Like everything else, he was the crybaby of.
He was an over emotional Darth
Star
Vader,
Wars.
but not as badass.
Yeah, he was just a crybaby.
Shout out to Luke. Luke, my guy.
Who?
Luke, my guy.
Yeah, Luke. It's hard to go wrong with Luke. Luke was a legend, especially later on.
And for a lot of people familiar with Mark Hamill, you may not be. He was great as Luke Skywalker, but go look at his voice acting work.
Oh, his voice acting. He's if you're my age or anywhere close to it, he's your Joker.
Yes.
Like
when they from the regular show,
when they list the Jokers, like his name should always come up because that's a whole era of people's Joker, and it was amazing voice acting work.
Yes,
Jesse got mud on it too. Mud on it.
But that's my top 5 Jedis. So we're gonna do 2 segments tonight. We're gonna do 2 and 2. So whoever wants to go next. The floor is yours.
Man, he nerded me up. That's what's up.
I figured I'd bring a little low.
No, that's good. It's good. We need it.
Energy in here.
It's good. We need it. That's how you wake me up. Look, I don't always. All right, I'll go. I don't always believe necessarily in this because I think we should always be trying to get better and always trying to evolve. But let's do some. We're getting close to the end here. Let's do some New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Why? Go ahead, too.
New Year's resolutions for myself, other than become a better man, a better father. Like I was talking to Coach earlier before we end up. This is great that you're saying this. You know what I'm saying? As we hit 2023 in regards of the overall brand, you know what I'm saying? Continuing to build. You know what I'm saying? Like go through one year where you're just trying to get in, fit in. As I have, second year is kind of easy now. And then we, strolling with you guys now. We're getting a feel for that. And now it's time to take the wheels off that and expand into other things. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, hitting social media 40 times more than we do and other things like that. So, yeah, New Year's resolution is better with myself, family, and this brand here.
Fair to say. It's a good resolution. Anything else, fellas?
I made mine very clearly. I know it's one of the most basic ones ever, but my ass has got to drop that 40 pounds. And I got a big old support group around me that's going to help me get there. And I've already started by dropping the alcohol kick, and I've already started to wean out the top. And then I think I'm going to add something to that. I ain't going to be late anymore.
Hey, man. Hey,
Hey, baby steps.
It's baby steps, you know what I'm saying? But in all to the weight, shout out to you, man. You know what I'm saying? To be able to want to do that, put your mind right, put yourself in position. Also have Slaughter Fit, that comes on daily, on the SCWF network, you know what I'm saying? And tag in, you know what I'm saying?
I try to check him out twice a week.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Roger, great guy. You know what I'm saying? Even you don't message him, get some regimens. And that's one thing, there's a lot of people, a lot of friends, that probably try to bring you in different directions, man. But, when you're trying to do that type of thing, man, listen to intake, man. Take it in your own. Don't overdo yourself. That's one thing I would say. Slowly but slowly, like Will said, getting baby steps, you know what I'm saying? You'll get that.
I started doing the whole, just within the last few weeks, we got an elevator at work. Take the elevator. Be the lazy guy. Nah, I started taking the stairs. I got to walk all the way to the 3rd floor now.
Join Bumpy Nelson challenge. Yeah, man. Bumpy definitely going to have more challenges coming up 2023. He's getting back to it. You know what I'm saying?
He's grown, too.
Things. Overall, Bumpy always throws challenges, saying throughout, social media platforms, get everybody acquainted and, rather it's for a little problem or just, for yourself, which is the main thing, that's what it is. And we'll
Hold on. My man said the best Star Wars movie in the franchise is Rogue One. I'll fight you over that opinion. Well, I got some time.
Nice.
But I'll say this. It's one of the best in the entire series. That includes the originals. Stop it. But here's my thing. They made the entire Rogue One movie. The entire movie is created to explain a mistake that George Lucas made. The whole entire movie is only made just to explain why it was so easy to destroy the Death Star.
Yep.
Shout out to you,
Yep.
That's the only reason they made the movie.
Insider knowledge.
That's the only reason they made the movie, just to explain the mistake that he made. Now, that being said, the writer of that movie, I like his mentality. The reason why he wrote that movie and the reason why he's doing the Andor series, his exact words were, I can tell this story beautifully. Like, I know how to write this story. He's like, but I can't stand. He's like, I can't stand Star Wars. He's like, there better not be a lightsaber in my show. He's like, I don't want it. He's like, I'm going to tell them a story in a Star Wars world, but it's not a Star Wars. It's not like written like every other Star Wars fan story. He's like, I can tell this. It's a heist story. He's like, I can tell that story. He's like, I'll tell that story. But he's like, I'm not.
Season 1 was wonderful, by the way.
Unbelievably written. Exactly what he called it.
And a lot of people said, nah, it was boring, but you got to get past the first 1.5 episodes. And then after that, it just takes off.
Yeah, they created like, do you understand? Like, they created anxiety moments.
Yep.
When you knew he was gonna make it. Because you know he goes on
right
to do what he does in the movie. So you know he's gonna live and they still make you feel like he's gonna die. So that's always the hardest thing to do. So that was amazing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, New Year's resolution, coach.
For me, like my man Jake, not from State Farm, want to lose about 30, 35 pounds. Off to a decent start so far. Also, I want to paint myself into a corner, so to speak, on this whole podcasting thing.
Okay.
I've got a lot of stuff in my brain that's itching to get out, but I got to make sure that I do it in the right manner, so no steps are wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And every move is maximized.
Efficiency.
And everybody grows. I got some good stuff. I got a great podcast team, got a great support system. And I can't get anything done without everybody being involved and being an integral part of it. So for those of you that have been here thus far, in whatever capacity it may have been, greatly appreciate it.
Always appreciate it. Definitely, man.
Bump you, Patrick.
Glad that comment out.
Hey, make sure you tune in next week for that comment.
Oh,
got something for you.
My resolution is to teach Tua how to fall properly.
Can we hurry? Can we hurry up and get out of the first round of the playoffs so we can be done with the Cowboys?
Hold on. How about they make it out the first round?
Huh?
And that's the everlasting story.
That's the point of that joke. I was saying you're not gonna make it out the first round.
No.
Anyways, New Year's resolution. Actually, very similar to my other two panelists here.
We all love food.
I need to get a control of the health. Not the coughing. I got attacked by COVID. Nothing I can do about that. Like the health, like getting my sleep together. I'm notoriously bad at sleep, and I mean that in every sense of the word. I'm bad at it.
Yeah, you do be responding to some stuff like in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'll be at work and see something through the Facebook or the Twitter. I'll send it to Will like guy. He'll respond to me in the morning. 5 minutes later, that shit's crazy. Are you serious? Dang, he's still up.
At any given time, your boy's up.
I know who I'm calling when I'm having a heart attack at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Will, I know you're miles away, but call the police.
I will transfer you to 911. I got you, sir. That's how it be. Bad at sleeping, not by choice. Just plenty of apnea and other stuff. What else? I gotta eat better. That might be the number one thing. My entire diet is pasta and bread. I mean, obviously I eat some like steaks and stuff like that, but like I just too much pasta and bread, man. Oh yeah. Definitely, D. I'm always up, bro. It's bad.
Oh yeah, man. I've been trying to go to sleep. So I got that problem too, man. And not only been a problem since college for me, man. Probably less than that. Probably like in the teens.
Like middle school, yeah. I was bad in middle school.
Waking up and being able to still wake up and complete the day. You know, you think that's a good thing. You know, but also, like you said, man, you gotta control it. You know, get enough sleep, man. Get some sleep, things like that. Now, I like to party and turn up and be up by late too, man. You know, I'm gonna be up by late.
Yo, D, I'm the one always actually up when Mo posts who's up.
Yep. I am boy. Yep. Like, who's up?
Y'all know Mo stay up.
That's how I know I'm up too late. You know what I'm saying? When
What did Jesse say?
Will don't snooze. Will don't snooze.
Oh yeah. That's a inside
that
joke.
word, man. That word.
But yeah, man. Yeah. So to get healthy, also to really lock in on the podcast and build this brand to the levels, to the heights that we it's a terrible diet, man. That's a diet of an Italian fat man. You know, it's not good. It's not good what I do. It's all pasta.
Yeah, giving up bread, rice, and pasta is going to be tough for me. I love rice and I love bread. So
my entire diet.
I'm a switch to wheat. Hopefully that does enough of it because I can't just give up bread. And then instead of making an entire pot of rice, I'm going to have to make a half a pot and then split it up and divvy it up. I can give up pasta, but that'll be the rice and bread. That's too tough. I'm a poor man's meal. I love it.
Yeah, that's my diet. For real. He's not lying. He knows. I mean, I used to chill in his crib and order food, and that's what I get.
I'll try. Yeah, for me, man, you gotta get to the late night snacking, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a snacketeer, man. So that's one thing health wise I gotta do too, man. You know.
Jesse's dog Scamp owes me half of a steak and cheese sub.
Man, I got a couple dogs.
He stole my sub.
Man.
Anyways, so get healthy. Get healthy and get grinding with the brand, man.
Somebody shaving? Good stuff. So we're gonna take our first break for the night. We're gonna come back and get Jake's segment and 2 segment. Hang in tight. Be back by 15-20. Hold on to your butts.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome to the Chop Up.
Chop it up.
Yes, sir. Somebody said bedroom lightsaber. keep it PG.
Hey, real quick, I came in late on that saving, but I did want to throw it out there, though. I love Star Wars. I just got into the comics. So it's hard to make a list, but if I'm going straight off of movies,
okay,
Obi-Wan's my number 1 because he's the only true full Jedi, in my opinion. And then you got Ahsoka running at number 4. I'm doing it out of order. I'm sorry. Anakin's number 5 because he came back and fulfilled the chosen one prophecy. Luke is 3, not 2. And then number 2, man, it's tough, but I got to go Yoda.
Okay.
But Obi-Wan's always been my favorite ever since I was a kid because I started and I watched it in the wrong order from 1 to 6. And Obi-Wan was my favorite just from the beginning. The student all the way up to what he was in 4. It was fantastic. Honorable mention, Qui-Gon. And then I got, good old freaking Cade Skywalker from the there's a whole lot. There's a whole expanded universe people don't even know about, and it's too much to run into. But anyway, on to my topic. I didn't bring up the sports for the last chop up. I got to go back to the sports, and I know this is an argument that I saw Will having earlier in the week, and I wanted to hop in on it.
Oh yeah,
and I hopped in on it just one little bit, just because my favorite tight end in the league is number one, and I will fight anybody over it. But I added a little bit of a twist. I want to know what you guys think the top 5 disappointing tight ends are this year, and I want to know what you think the top 5 tight ends of just this year are. It shouldn't be too long of a topic, but I know there might be a little bit of argumentations in this. So, anybody want to start? Go for it.
So you say the best 5 or the
best 5 tight ends, and who you think
disappointing?
Yes. And if you can't come up with a top 5 disappointing, it's fine just going on and saying, I did not think this guy did well. Perfectly fine. But I definitely want a top 5 tight end of the year.
Before I go in top 5, you have to think of guys that were disappointing. I'll put it in a disappointing sense because, tight ends can have bad seasons for a lot of reasons. Tight ends, and I love the tight end position, but then, at the same time I don't, because those are the guys that are on the line most of the time with the offensive lineman protecting, blocking, and all that. Feel like there should be a better reward for that. But, there's always talent in the NFL, that comes first. So as a name, disappointing tight ends this year. First one I would say, he got hurt. Bad situation for him, man. He got traded last year. Zach Ertz. You know what I'm saying? The production ever since he went to Arizona dropped solemnly, dropped below. I knew Dallas Goedert would be the guy in Philly, but I would have thought that Ertz would have, with Murray, easy coming. I feel like for a guy like him, the short passes are the best passes for him. I feel like Ertz would have been better, and he didn't. This year ends up injured. So that's one disappointing tight end.
And the crazy thing about Ertz, though, is the fact that the very first 2 weeks he came in, he was very productive, but it was because it was the shiny new toy, and then he just completely disappeared.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Murray sucks.
I don't know if I'm more disappointed with the tight ends or just the offensive way they do things. So I'm gonna put 2 other guys there. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. You
completely agree.
The Patriots, I feel like, that's one thing they could have still hung their head on offensively and still been able to probably win a few more games than they have this year. Though, it's whatever season you think it is in New England. But I always say, definitely ride for the tight ends of the Patriots, just because if I see 20 years of them being able to kill teams with the way they deal and they play tight ends. So for them to sign these 2 guys, especially when Brady's gone, I thought it would have helped Mac a lot. And you see in the games when he used the tight ends, it do help him. But they don't show them a lot of love, man. So it's disappointing to see that. From that, of course, I like Tyler Higbee too, man. It's disappointing, man, what's going on in Los Angeles. Though Baker's, trying to shine now. There's a few disappointing tight ends, man. But everybody likes the core. So I'll let y'all start with the core, man, since I already chatted on my behalf on disappointings, or I go however y'all want to go.
My number one disappointment is Kyle Pitts. That's my guy. Florida Gator. It's not his fault. His quarterbacks are garbage. His system is garbage. Everything in Atlanta is terrible in terms of football. And that's it. About Kyle Pitts, but I expected him to be all pro.
Dalton Schultz. Disappointment.
Yep.
His quarterback was injured. Then his other quarterback loves throwing picks.
And Dalton Schultz, he was going high in some drafts I was in too. He was getting picked up. High for a tight end, because tight ends can't get picked up in that first, second round area. But Schultz was getting picked up in like the 5th. I think I saw him in a 4th one time, just because of how how fast and how powerful that offense for the Cowboys were supposed to be. And I understand the quarterback went down and everything, but he he was not what he was last year. He just isn't getting nearly as many looks. He's not doing as much. Now that might be a Cowboys playbook type thing, but if you're wasting a high draft pick on a guy that you're expecting to get you points, it ain't really helping you much.
It's Kellen Moore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Kellen Moore too, because there's some games where he looks good. You know, there's other games where they go to Ferguson. You know, they target him more. Yeah, I think it's all that, man. You know, but Schultz is still a good player to me. Hey, ultimately, you know, he could be the guy out. He could be the guy out, and could be a great force on another team. That's how I took it this year, man. And they paid him the money. You know, there'll be a team streaming looking for a tight end of his services. Great guy.
So we're doing a disappointing 5 now, right?
Yeah.
For me, because of the offense that he's in, he's had a couple of decent games, but I still don't think he's done enough. That's one Dawson Knox in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of underperformed this year.
Throw him the ball.
Yeah.
He has disappeared.
Someone else, this one might be kind of, some people might disagree with me, but I think because of the expectation that's put upon him, he's been hurt. So I get that. Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
I think in that high-powered offense, he should be eating in the middle of that field on a regular basis.
Yeah, they run a lot though, but yeah.
Then this guy here, I don't understand. You know, he got the contract during the offseason. A lot of people thought he's going to be on his way up. He flashed, but then he has a lot of bad games. One, David Njoku.
Yes, David Njoku, definitely. I think because of the frame and how you see him on the football field, I guess practicing, warming up, I guess this guy still gets a high nod. But then I kind of look in that aspect too, like, where was it at? You know, maybe
another run-heavy team.
Yep, another run-heavy team as well. So, you know what I'm saying, to not get them.
So, if it's a run-heavy team, he should be eating on play action.
Unless your quarterback's Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, real quick, though, I was actually on the edge of putting David, like, getting closer to the top 5, actually, this year. From watching his play, because I see way too much Cleveland football being where I'm at because of the Bengals aren't playing. They throw Cleveland on. I think he was coming up into key situations, and he was almost like a every week starter for me when he wasn't hurt because he was getting grabs and averaging about 10 points a game. So, I mean, he was out there getting passes more deep. I don't know why they weren't letting him go towards the middle and getting those little, you know, the baby yards you need. But he was pretty decent in fantasy this year from a fantasy aspect. He was involved, but he wasn't nearly involved from like a high contract that you should have been getting.
I can see that. I think somebody mentioned Kyle Pitts. I think just kind of the circumstances that he's in. They get him a quarterback in there because he's going to get killed and mess around with Mariota.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of catches last year, but I'm like, to me, he just don't do it for me. It's Dalton Schultz. To me, it's like every time he catches the ball, he's looking for somewhere to lay down. He hardly ever gets yaks.
You mentioned that weeks ago. You said you could not stand how he is playing because as soon as he gets it, he just wants to fall because he don't want to get his knees taken out.
And I'm looking at the two rooks and Henderson, Ferguson and Hendershot. They catch the ball. They looking upfield for somebody to run over. That's why Dalton will be able to, he got franchised this year, but they found both of them.
Dalton will be in the league a lot longer playing like that, though.
Yeah.
But I get it.
But I think of, Jason Witten, Jay Novacek, Billy Joe Dupree, those type of tight ends.
Too many Cowboys. He was naming Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm not naming a Cowboy, but I got Dallas Clark too.
He was.
But those are some great tight ends that we've had.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what brings us, man, to, the list, shout out to the tight end position, though. You know what I'm saying? I love the tight end.
The most important position on the field.
Yeah, his name is top 5, like you said, Jake. You want top 5.
Not named quarterback.
Not named quarterback. You're right.
Before we get into that, it's the reason why you did bring up this topic and debate.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get there.
The root of it, you know, was pretty interesting this week, man. But you know, who wants to start with the top 5 favorite tight ends in the NFL?
I gotta give this to Will. I gotta see it. You gotta pop it off first.
Look, I know from a fantasy perspective, and from if you're just looking about production, you can't go wrong with Kelsey.
True. He's in my top 5.
Yeah. He's most people, if you're smart, he's most people number 1.
Right.
In the league right now.
I took him in the second round in some of my leagues.
Understood. Great player. Safe player in terms of fantasy. He's going to get the numbers.
Right.
I just got into an argument this week where somebody said that talent-wise, George Kittle wasn't in the top tier. And I thought that was outrageous.
And I was ready to come on glue.
Because of the industry?
He hasn't even been injured this year.
But they just say that he's not talent-wise on the same level. And I'm like, that's outrageous.
That's the Saints their question.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to come unglued on that post, but Will had like calmly shut it down. And I'm like, I just got in there. I did a quick jab like,
wow,
this is highly false. And I popped back out.
Look, statistically, he doesn't have the same numbers as Kelsey. But it's also because he's in a system that doesn't favor tight ends. He doesn't play under Andy Reid. He doesn't play with Mahomes. He plays with Jimmy G, okay? And there's no coincidence that since Brock Purdy's been in the game, he's been playing a lot better lately. Now,
saving my fantasy season.
To think, yeah, they wouldn't have him in the tops at all. They didn't have him. Said he wasn't as talented as those guys, which I thought was crazy. He's one of the fastest tight ends in the league. Great route runner, great hands, great after the catch, and a better blocker than the reason why he gets hurt is because he blocks a lot more than these pass catching tight ends. He's just the facts, people. He does not play. He does not play with Mahomes.
I mean, obvious choice is Kelsey. You know, you got everything in your car when you buy it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to buy nothing extra. You got everything in your car already. You know, Kittle, I feel like at times the reason why he's not in that same tier as Kelsey and try to make different tiers is because it's a little WWE-ish with Kittle. You know what I'm saying? You see him get hurt. But that doesn't mean he's not a competitor. He competes. Does a lot of things, does a lot of dirty work. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he gets hurt. He gets hurt because he actually blocks.
They're not relying on Kittle to win them football games. They're going to have to, you know, as times get crucial, as they've been doing the last few weeks with a quarterback, you know, that can give him the rock. He's dominated. And that's the reason why he doesn't get on that tier, Kelsey. But, I mean, he can hang with him. He can definitely hang with him. And you know what I'm saying? And when you name tight ends, you know what I'm saying? Kittle's not far behind Kelsey on the list. He's not. He's right there. He's right behind him. To me.
I would say Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, and then the waters get murky after that.
No. Maybe Hawkinson.
Hold on. Guy that shouted that out, you know, Sean, you know, he's a Vikings fan, you know. I bet you he doesn't even know that T.J. Hawkinson plays for the Vikings. But we've seen him, you know, this season with the Vikings.
Worry about Dallas.
Hey, John, you know, worry about your own. You know what I'm saying?
He too busy worrying about everyone else's team. Like he want to clown Dallas. He want to clown the Saints.
Always on me about Mac Jones. He's worried about everybody else's pie and not his own.
He ain't worried about Kirk Cousins playing on national stage. We'll see what happens.
Had to stay out of winning Facebook gym.
My top 5, 4 of them is pretty much I've already named. Kelsey first, Hawkinson second, Kittle third, Andrews fourth. But I got a dark horse in there. That's because he's a Swiss Army knife.
Oh,
I gotta put Taysom Hill in there.
Taysom.
Just because of what all he can run, he can catch, he can throw.
My man carried 4 people to the end zone last time I saw him running. Like, that was crazy.
He's
6'2".
He's in an offense that's not making much sense right now.
Yeah, he's a whole stat one.
2, you look puzzled. Let me ask you this: would you take Taysom Hill or Dalton Schultz?
No. What would you say?
Would you take Taysom Hill or Dalton Schultz?
As an overall player, I'll take Taysom Hill because I know
you have to.
If he can't shine at that position right there where he's supposed to be tight end, he can move in different sets. You know what I'm saying? And he has kind of a wild card name to him. So, and he's put up some stats at the tight end. You know, believe it or not, when you see the stat lines and you see him, you know, on fantasy notifications like he scored, you know, he's scoring from that position. It's surprising to me you say him. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. But you mentioned him, you know, a guy that people wouldn't have on their list. But, you know, we see what he does. We may trash him, trash the team and all that stuff, but he's an athlete.
He's a weapon. He's a weapon. Anyone in the field.
He's a football player.
He's a football player. He's an athlete. I shout out to him, man.
Matthew Slater type guy. Just put him out there. Let him.
Definitely, man.
Let him make plays.
So that falls, you know, for me, 3 for me would be Mark Andrews. I feel like Mark Andrews would be number 3.
And it's sad that he's up there in Baltimore.
On the list.
I think he's wasting away up there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. All day. I would have Dan Waller on that list. I mean, he didn't have.
He's had the most disappointing season.
He had most disappointing season injuries.
He's hurt too. So
I said, right. Either him or Kyle Pitts will be at that spot. One of them will be out because I have to put this man in still. And I'm funny like this, but I'm going to. I used to do it when people used to say wide receivers. And then the guy came back, ended up winning the Super Bowl, doing some crazy things on the field. And now, as of last week, he had Warrens, and now he doesn't have no more Warrens. I said AB was always in my top 5 wide receivers. Everybody be like, well, he's not playing right now. He's not playing right now. But Rob Gronkowski will be on my top tight end list at number 5. If he was playing right now, probably won't be up in the top 5. But I'm going to put Rob Gronkowski in there this week for me.
He's number 1 on my list because he didn't show up and let that bum Tom Brady burn this year. I love it.
Yo, it's crazy. And then last week he came out with the, you know,
you gotta love Tom.
I'm bored, you know. So then he had teams calling him, asking, "Do he want to play?" There's gonna be teams that's always looking for Gronk. You know, he's still.
Oh yeah.
He's probably older than NFL body, but in terms of age, he's still young. You know, pick up a shade, be like Hulk Hogan, man. You know, pick up contract whenever you want. You know, participate yearly. You know what I'm saying? Like. Shout out to Rob though, because if Rob was in the league right now, I would still say that Rob was in the league. He's number 1 in the league if he's still in there because Kelsey couldn't hold his boots, Kittle couldn't hold his boots.
Just Ric Flair it, woo! Just come back whenever you want.
It took a long time for those other guys. I feel Kelsey Kittle's in a certain situation that Kelsey was in while Gronk was in the league. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't in that car of his yet. He got the car and everything in it already. You wasn't the tight end that had everything in it. Though you had Patrick Mahomes and all that, you know, you're a critical piece in your offense. But he was chasing ghosts for years at Rob Gronkowski. Now it's Kittle chasing it. You know, Kittle might need a ring for it to be pushed. You know what I'm saying? He needs that ring now for it to be pushed. And I think the next tight end coming up is going to be
the quarterback and the goddamn ball. That's all he needs.
Right, all that too. All that mixture. But at the end of the day, I feel like there'll be more respect on Kittle's name if he had something like that in his collection, for real. He deserves it. I mean, hey, he's one of the best tight ends in football. When it goes down to it, you know, they'll be shouting his name, you know, the way he plays. I think he's more of a I think he have a career in the WWE though. And that's why another reason why people don't put him in that echelon either. Because I feel like his game sometimes is a lot WWE-ish. See him at the events, you know. He wish he could body slam somebody. If he was able to body slam people and do all that, he'll be the best in the league. By far.
Hey Bobby, that's why Will's the savior. He saved both of us from going to Facebook jail off that one post. Yeah, no, my top five is pretty basic. I think my only surprising one's on my actual number 5 pick. Number one, I have a favorite player in the league, and I watch consistently, always, even if they're not on my team. Ever since like 2012, it was Julian Edelman. He was my favorite player I've ever seen play, all the way up to where he retired, and then George Kittle took that spot. So this might be a little bit of a favoritism pick, but I don't care. George Kittle's number one. The way he plays, everything that he can do, he does everything a tight end should do. He's the reason I like the tight end position so much. Gronk started it, but Kittle solidified it. You block, you're in the trenches. You can catch and get up the field. And Will's right. The only reason he gets hurt and is always hurt is because he plays the tight end position the way you're supposed to. You're not supposed to do the butterfly fluff that freaking Travis Kelce does, but that's why Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends of the league because of the
Numbers.
the fluff.
Production.
So number two, even though I don't want to because I don't like the guy because he's rivaled up with my favorite player, whether you like it or not, it's Travis Kelce. He gets all the yards. Once everybody cleared out of Kansas City, it was just him. If you can shut down Travis Kelce, you can beat Kansas City. That is just all you can get to it.
Yeah, 135 targets this year.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
3 touchdowns in a game where everyone knew he was the only guy getting the ball. It's great.
Number 3, TJ Hawkinson. I think the guy is the number one watch-out target on the field when it comes to the Vikings. You might say I'm crazy because you got Justin Jefferson out there, but
no, it's crazy.
If you're focusing too much on Justin Jefferson, you're going to get torched because Hawkinson's going to catch the ball for touchdowns. That's what happened this last weekend.
That's
Hawkinson
the only time
had 2
happened,
touchdowns.
But yes.
Well, he hasn't been there that long.
I know. I'm just saying.
I feel like he has that potential, but he doesn't have that feeling of go out every week and do it. He didn't have it with the Lions either. Look at what the Lions had.
Well,
now, I'm not going to sit here and say all these other receivers on the Detroit Lions are more important than Hawkinson. Nah, it just didn't fit. With Minnesota, he's in a place where you're going to rely on Jefferson and the likes of Cook and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to name.
Hawkins is definitely a beast. I just think there's a couple tight ends you put in this spot that are going to do equal or better, in my opinion.
Me, he's still one of those guys you're like, oh. And we talk about start him every week. I'm kind of like sometimes the TJ
This is just the hater in me because this guy probably should be third on my list, but he's not. But it's just the hater in me. And also, I don't think he's done that great this year. Mark Andrews. He's another guy that he's another guy that plays the tight end position the correct way, but is forced into being the number one wide receiver on the team. He is a blocker, and he's good at blocking, but he also gets out there and makes crucial catches that Lamar needs because Lamar can only throw 5 to 10 yards. And he's the one catching most of them because he doesn't have any other receivers to throw to. So they kind of force him into that spot. But Mark Andrews has almost, made himself a Travis Kelce type player, but we just don't see how well he gets down the field. I think I only saw one game this year when he was actually a real threat down the field, and it was against the Patriots, sadly. Number 5, off of maybe surprising because I haven't heard his name yet. This guy's been like the only constant I've seen in the Pittsburgh offense. Pat Freiermuth is the only constant that Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, anyone that's played quarterback there this year has had. The wide receivers either regress or they show up. Najee Harris, he's either there or here. Who's there all the time catching and making yards and blocking and making plays? Pat Freiermuth.
He's 6 in targets.
That's definitely on the radar. It's definitely a guy on the radar, I guess, a lot because people don't watch him and see him play. You do as well probably have the luxury to watch Pittsburgh play as well.
Yeah.
In. So shout out to that. He was a guy that I targeted on a lot of fancy radars, and a lot of people are snagging him up. That's more the respect for him, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's an every down tight end in the league. And like you said, man, Pittsburgh's only going to get better. And I feel like he's the guy that's next on the uprise. He definitely is going to be shocking. You're not really saying his name this year, but you're going to say his name a lot next year. I think Pittsburgh is going to.
Hey, plus, you know what? I'm a professional wrestling fan. I love hearing crowd reactions. There ain't nothing like just chilling, watching your TV, and you see Pat Freiermuth get a catch, and everybody in the crowd. Moo. Yeah, I mean it's great. I'm like, dude, I'm all about crowd and fan reaction. This guy, the fans love him, and that's only going to boost him.
Hey, a tight end resolution for the NFL. Washington Commanders, get yourself a tight end, please.
Logan Thomas is officially the biggest disappointment.
Thank
I
you.
mean, there's a few teams that need tight ends, but
No, I know there's a few teams that need tight ends, but when I think of one team, and I've been saying it for years, where even when because I remember being a
they had Reed, but he died.
I remember being a Jordan Reed guy. Like for years, that was my fantasy. Like I'm taking him, and then he started having this string of injuries, and then getting hurt, and then it's like you went to Logan Thomas, and he kind of had that upspeed, and now he's always hurt and always hurt. Get the Commanders a tight end.
Dawson Schultz is gonna be there next year.
You remember the last real tight end they had? Chris Cooley.
Cooley,
yes.
Cooley.
Chris Cooley.
He was my Madden tight end every year when I was a
Cooley
kid.
was a beast.
That's man. That
Doesn't want anything to do with the Commanders.
That tight end strong. It's crazy.
Well then,
that was a good one.
Shit, anyone gonna say Dan Campbell for tight end of the year?
Dan Campbell, man. What a speech the other day he put up on at the press conference.
No kneecaps?
No kneecaps.
No kneecaps. Okay.
All day, man. So last segment, what I'm saying, Will kind of chimneyed in earlier on terms of reflection, things like that. So I feel like because of what I was gonna speak on, it's kind of similar to that. So I'll kind of lean it. It was talking sports. We'll end it with sports. Keep on the same lane. Now there was a lot of moments, and there's a lot of moments every year in sports. If you have a favorite moment, you can shout it out. We can talk about it, or at least favorite moment in sports. We can talk about it. So I'll start. You know what I'm saying? Most there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of things that happen in sports this year. Interesting themes, man. Since we're on the NFL, man, what a year. What a year last year. This year for the NFL from Kansas City and Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? What potentially we could see in the playoffs this year with overtime. Things of that nature. Super Bowl, the Rams is able to succeed in. You see a team in Cincinnati, a team that's going to try to not fade in the light. You know what I'm saying? And keep polls. You know what I'm saying? And it's all the different things in the NFL this year that just intrigue me. You know what I'm saying? Now we're dealing with Tua and the concussion protocol. How does that go into the future? You know what I'm saying? Replays in terms of QBs. You know what I'm saying? Being hit and flags being called. We seen Don James last night with his hit. The world's going one way and the world's going the other way on it. Was it an illegal hit? Was it not an illegal hit?
It's big time regardless.
Big time regardless. So it's interesting this year, just with the NFL and how much things change and how excited of a league is getting and how competitive teams were this year. I said it for the NBA last year, and it continues in sports like that. Excited and very interesting, intriguing moments for me came from the NFL. And I usually come from basketball, but this year it was more football, man. They can get more into the football streaming thing, man.
My favorite sports moment of the year was Brittany Griner getting arrested. No,
that was your favorite?
No, I'm kidding. It was Kyrie going DEFCON in the Jew. No, I'm kidding. What we got? Tua needs bubble wrap. No, favorite moment, huh? Let me see. A few fighting moments that were great.
Well, boxing. Man, boxing, UFC, all that. More boxing to me. UFC's, you know what I'm saying, where it's been, in terms of placing in combat sports. But, I feel like boxing made heavy strides this year. Still need to improve, but you know what I'm saying?
Serena at the Open was nice. I agree with that. What was it? Not Agassi. Was it who? Oh, Nadal and Federer crying together was a pretty cool moment because they kind of just like sent each other off like, yeah, we done. Who else? Oh, the moment with Silas, the Silas kid, and Monty Williams. Silas's son.
Yep,
Coach.
Moment after the game, man. You know.
Yeah, that was nice to see.
Silas, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't get a lot of like you said, man. When you mentioned it, man, doesn't get a lot of news or talk, but definitely one of the pioneers. Saying not only the community but in the game.
Seeing my Celtics put up a good fight in the finals, that was fun to watch.
Probably one of the most roller coaster things, man, I've seen, man. Like being back in Boston and working in Boston again, and that whole run had me shook as hell because my haterism towards the Celtics, and every game that they was winning, every time they was advancing, I'm just like, is this the year? And then when I seen the first 2 games of the series, I'm kind of like, oh, these motherfuckers gonna win it, man. So that was definitely a roller coaster type moment, man. Could have been a favorite if I was a Celtics fan, but hated it because of the team they were. So it was crazy to see being in the area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I gotta almost completely agree with Will, but I'm not. The Rafael Nadal and Federer, that was absolutely incredible. And then you almost want to put Messi winning that World Cup on there too, because that's been a long time coming.
Well, you know what? The game itself was bananas too. Like it was a great final.
Because even if you're not a soccer fan, and I'm not really that big of a soccer fan, I'm sitting there and I'm freaking the hell out. I'm like, dude, my heart's pounding. This is intense.
Yeah, it was compelling television.
And then they were yelling the entire time at the end. I was like, it was on Fox at first, I believe, and then it switched to FS1, and then they put the freaking Cowboys game on. I'm like, I don't want to watch this crap. Where's the other channel at? I wanted to watch the ceremony and everything. I was like, this is insane. I like this, but my favorite sports moment of the year. I spoke this a few months ago. I think maybe you remember. I'm a huge bowling fan. I love the PBA. I watch it on Sundays every chance I get.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yep, Pete Weber, baby. One of my favorite bowlers is Norm Duke, and he retired this year. And he went off, and they were doing the PBA teams when they draft, and I forgot which one he was on. He might have been part of the Motown team, or because I know he wasn't on the LAX team. He was on the same team with Wes Malott, and he secured the final spare they needed for the team to win, and it was his farewell retirement match. And they all embraced him. Thank you, Norm was trending on Twitter all over the place. The man's 58 years old. He finished with 40 career bowling association titles and 7 majors, 5 PBA 50 titles. He was 2-time PBA Player of the Year, USBC Hall of Fame. He was also the PBA Hall of Famer. And the guy's just had an absolute legendary career, and it was nice seeing him sent off that way by winning the team's competition with his team. And shout out Norm Duke for being one of the guys that helped me get into bowling, and I stayed interested in bowling at the professional level. Him and Chris Barnes have always been my favorite bowlers of all time to watch, and I still bowl to this day, and I'm still a traditional one-handed bowler because of those guys.
Well, there you go, folks, and make sure that our little advertisement isn't a lie. We will actually talk bowling. It is possible.
Well, definitely, man. I enjoy bowling too, man. I enjoy watching it on days where I don't have no sports on and can't find no sports. Only a shout out to a few people on the call. Shout out to Gina repping the Bay Productions. That Warriors finals win, definitely, man. I never thought they would get another one. They end up getting that performance in Game 4 was definitely insane. Little do wow, man. Reaction to the World Cup match, definitely one of the greatest soccer matches ever. One of the craziest turnarounds ever. We was actually on the Inside Show speaking on, we thought that the game was already over, and it wasn't. Did France ties it up, and we're just excited and all. Pujols, man.
Pujols was great.
700, man.
Pujols. Also this year we had Judge break the AL record, and then we also had Ovechkin Ovechkin catching up with Gordie Howe.
Yep.
Yeah, Gordie Howe and
speaking of that non-false. Speaking of that non-false advertisement, Will, I think the only thing I have not heard us talk about once yet is golf. So someone's got to bring that up soon.
Yeah, somebody got to bring
I love golf.
The whole Liv golf controversy, you know what I'm saying? How Liv tried to break into the PGA. You know what I'm saying? And the Tiger Woods come front line like, don't matter what y'all do. I'm still the brand. And I ain't even playing because my back hurt. You know what I'm saying?
But I will show up. But I will show up to play with my son, and then I'm out.
Yes, he definitely did that. The Tiger too, man, decided to pull out the tournament to go play with his son, man. You know.
Also,
and Daly's still smoking cigarettes on the courts.
The whole Saudi situation is crazy too with golf. The whole Saudi tournament and how they
welcome.
Snatched up a lot of players, and absolutely, it's the first time watching y'all show. Well, welcome.
And man, chat in. Let us know what you're doing, man. How we can support you.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and bring your Johan back here.
You know what I'm
we
saying?
do this multiple times a week.
West Coast side, it's probably it's nice over there. You know what I'm saying? Over there.
What's up, Dominique?
Dominique, hey Dominique, man, we need you in the building one day, man. We need those Raider tickets, man, for $10.
So real quick for me, my reflection of 2022. I'll probably say for me, everybody knows I'm a Cowboy fan, but probably just as big a Mavs fan as I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
I've had Mavs season tickets before in the past, so I've been here since the beginning. And I will probably say, even though we lost to the eventual champions, just the way that team rallied and put their foot on the necks of the Suns, that to all the capping that was going on, the way they made them, the whole thing about the European players being soft, this and that, just the way that Luka just built different. Mark Cuban, get that kid some help, man.
Yeah,
don't
dirk him up, man. Don't do that again.
I'll spend money on that Shark Tank and start spending some money on them shark players.
That win had what I can imagine the satisfaction of choking out your enemy had. Like the way they finished that game, it was just like, they blew him out at the end. Like, god damn, that wasn't even kind of competitive. Like, that's bad.
And they were the top seeded team in the league at the going into the postseason. So
got that
my
nice
disdain for Chris Paul just got that much higher.
Seeing that team, man, and what they've done in the last few years, having to climb from those series with the Clippers, it kind of tested them. And especially Luka. You know what I'm saying? You test Luka out, and then it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. You got to copy that link down. I don't know.
He said, I do NFL and NBA shows coming in 2023. Damn, Gina.
Yeah.
We're gonna tune in. We're gonna tune in. We're gonna tune in.
We're gonna support
the show. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
Had to hit it with the Martin right quick.
Yeah, man. 2022, man, coming to a close, man. 2022 coming up. We're gonna have tons of new sports memories to put in our catalogs. It goes to a hell of a start with the NFL playoffs. Just 2 weeks away. Not only will the ball drop, somebody will be hosting the Lombardi. Maybe it'll be a new team this year because the Rams are still drunk, apparently.
Yeah,
they're done.
They're done.
They got no draft capital. They have no
salary cap phase.
They have two quarterbacks, so they don't have one. And they have
Donald
a coach
probably gonna retire.
They have a coach who's talking about he had no problem retiring. The coach too, he'll retire too.
Yep.
Sir, man,
at the ripe old age of 37 or something like that. He's mad young still.
We're riding out.
Hey, all
right, man.
I got me a little bit of a shout out. So, shout out to the Chop Up, by the way. I believe that this is its month anniversary of becoming a segment. We started it on Thanksgiving, and this is officially the month show of since Thanksgiving. So, shout out to the Chop Up. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, Coach. And shout out to Taquan. Without you guys, I wouldn't even be on the show and the platform to be able to do something like this. Even if I'm late here, working something, I always try to be involved somehow. Without you guys, I wouldn't even be here. First time, well, half of the year doing this. Been doing it since I think like week 4, the football season, just starting off in the fantasy show and then branching off into the week. This has been a lot of fun. This has been great. Shout out to you, Will, just because, I like getting into these arguments on Facebook over people that think that they got a smart opinion than me, and you were just like, all right, calm down, Junior. That's you got to slow them down a little bit. And 2 for being my number 1 hater. You're still great. But
hey, I'm everybody's number 1 hater except for Coach Lee's.
And shout out to everybody in the comments. Yes, thank you for commenting, and subscribing. I had a late start today, so I got to get out and ready for work. So I'm gonna pop out the feed. You guys finish off and have a great rest of the show. Be safe. And Happy New Year.
Same out there, man.
Shout out to you, Jake, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody tuning in today. Old faces as usual. Faces that are consistently riding on the brand wave. Shout out, ride the wave, man. I'm telling y'all, it's a great wave to ride on. And anybody new, shout out to you. Continue to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow us on all streaming platforms. And like I said, man, 2023, we're gonna be more, in tune to the social media platforms. You might hear Lee, laughing and joking about things, sports or anything else.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Lee the same, Jake the same. We're gonna be in your ears daily. So don't get tired of us, man. Continue to, be energized every time you hear the intro. Shout out to the introductions as well. Tell your son, man, great job, man. Love it every time it comes on, man. Gets me vibed in and extra ready, you know what I'm saying?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Only going up, you know what I'm saying?
Are you not entertained? It's what we do, people. We appreciate y'all for clicking in, commenting, keeps us going, keeps the conversation moving. It's just fun, man. I could FaceTime these dudes and talk to them and do all this. You know what I mean? But to have y'all here with us, right? To have y'all here with us, bouncing back the ideas, it's quite fun. So appreciate everybody who taps in, appreciate the brand. And my guys, man, appreciate y'all. You already know.
Yes. Shout out to Chris, Daryl, Anthony, Jay, Lil Dude, LOL, Jesse, Bernard, Kyrie, Patrick, Barbie, Life Church, and Gina repping debate. We appreciate y'all.
Damn, Gina.
Man, we had a blast night. The chop up is something we just kind of kicked around, and it's slowly growing because it gives you a variety of what we can do. And shout out to 2, man. It's a perfect way. This is our last chop up for 2022, and it played out great. We looked at we looked at the year in reflection, and it came out nice, man. Y'all the real champs, man. Y'all the real champs.
Appreciate it.
It's good to be surrounded by greatness. Appreciate y'all. Tomorrow night,
our multiverse.
It is.
We can just mix it up. We can do whatever we want. Yeah.
Appreciate the love, man.
I can kind of nerd out.
Yeah, you already know.
I got to learn from each and every one of you guys, man. And that's the thing of beauty about this here, man. You're not smart enough, and hell is not dumb enough, So, it takes time and skill to, listen to other people, and it takes and all that, and, be not all the way biased on things, which is still a problem for me. It's always will be, but to just coming with the love and the passion for what we do.
Yeah, it's passion, man. That's what it is. It's passion.
Man, that's what it is. It's therapy. It's poetry, emotion. What you do, man. So everybody, man, it's not built for everybody, man. But if you have a voice, man, use it. The time now, we never did it.
Tomorrow night we got another basketball show where we look at NBA in depth. Make sure y'all tune in at 7:30 and hang out with us.
Definitely, man.
Other than that, man, it's been enjoyable. Appreciate y'all. And hell, y'all have a great night. And shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate that. Y'all have a good night. We'll be in touch with you, Gina. Y'all
Damn!